Welcome everybody to Yoga for Balance and Bones. So finding ourselves seated on a chair. I like to sit back, so I have the backrest of the chair comfortably supporting my spine. And again, lift all 10 toes up. Yes, and feel how that engages the arches of your feet. Now try to spread those toes out so that they are separate from one another, and then rest them back on the ground without losing that connection of the tripod of your feet. So your big toe mound, your heel mound, or rather your pinky toe mound, and then your heel mound. And that takes a little bit of work. I don't know about you if you can feel that, but from here, we're gonna take one hand to the top of our head, and already I want you to start to get really tall here. So oftentimes when we sit, that chin reaches forward, my spine slightly rounds. But if you press down with your palm and lift up with the muscles of your spine, which include your neck muscles, you'll find that beautiful optimal posture. Right? So now our goal is to try and maintain that. Good. So if you've got that connection, if you can feel the muscles in your spine, in the back of the neck, helping to lift you up, then release your hands to your palms. Draw the head of the arm bones slightly back and broaden the collarbones. Good. Eyes are on the horizon. Good. Chin is parallel with the horizon. And let's just take a moment here to softly gaze downcast or close your eyes. And just breathe. I know a lot of us are anticipating the first class of the season with a little trepidation, perhaps a little bit of nerves even, because some of you feel that you have fallen off a wagon, which is something I hear often. And I think sometimes we just do what we need to do to get through life, and that's okay that your practice has fallen off the wagon, so to speak. You don't owe me anything, but I want you to start reframing this opportunity to move your body as that, an opportunity. All right, so instead of feeling guilty because you didn't do this or didn't do that, my ask of you, as you breathe in and out through your nose, feeling that expansion in through the rib cage, is that after this class, you go into your calendar, whatever you use, if you're old school and you write it down on the fridge, or you use your tablet or whatnot for reminders, like a doctor's appointment or a walk with a friend, etc., etc. I want you to program this class into your week. So it is a non-negotiable. If Lucy calls you and says, how about we go for lunch on Monday, the blah, 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 the 16th. And you're like, I'm sorry, my calendar says I have to move my body. And once it's scheduled in there, you'll be more likely to look at it as something that is a non-negotiable. As valuable as your dentist appointment or your doctor's appointment. All of which you wouldn't put to the side to go for a walk with Lucy. So today, as I heard you all say before I turned on my monitor, is day one. So thank yourself for showing up by placing one hand on your chest and then cover it with the other palm. Relax your shoulders. Keep your posture. And just simply try to focus on your breathing right now. So notice what happens when you breathe fully into your chest, into your ribs. We are, in fact, oxygenating our blood and our muscles and our mind. Release your hands back to the tops of your thighs. Slowly open your eyes. Hi, Vicky. I see some of you just popped in. And we're just going to do some really gentle neck circles or neck movements rather before we come to standing and get a little bit more challenging. So keeping that nice, tall, upright posture. Drop your chin in towards your chest. Good. And then lift your gaze right back on the horizon again. So you're going to go from chin to chest, and eyes on the horizon. Good, and we'll do that a couple more times. Now try to coordinate inhale and exhale through the nose. So as you inhale, you expand into your chest, into your ribs, into your belly. All of those things will be moving to some capacity. And as you exhale, nod your chin in towards your sternum without dropping your chest or letting the shoulders roll forward. So this is going to stretch the back muscles of your body. So again, inhale and exhale. If it feels good to exhale through your mouth today, that feels really natural to me. So go ahead and do what works best. Big breath in and exhale. And I think we'll do one more time. Your full end range of motion, but without any discomfort or pain, right? So that range of motion that does not cause you any discomfort. Come back to eyes on the horizon, right? If you need to reset that posture, lift upwards into your palm and then simply go right to left. All right, easier said than done. Sometimes my body wants to twist and turn and articulate through the shoulders to get the job done, but I'm asking you to keep your shoulders silent, right? Your collarbones nice and broad. Oh, and feel that stretch in through the sides of the neck. We want to focus on functional movements, and these are, in fact, movements you need in everyday life. We are attempting to minimize the rotation of your shoulders, of your trunk to the best of our ability. One more time, inhale and exhale. Good, and come back through center. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. 3, nice. This is not a chair yoga class. Don't get too comfortable. 2, and 1. Perfect time, we're in, and then come to stand. You're gonna move that chair out of the way. It may be of assistance at some point in time, if which case you can just use the chair off to your side. And then let's just come to stand once again. Finding our neutral position is really important in yoga, but in terms of our bone health. Right? So you think of the people who walk with their head down while they're walking down the street because they're worried about falling. We are not, in fact, stacking and loading our bones correctly. So the simplest thing we can do, and not so simple as you know, is to continue to stack our bones, chin parallel to the horizon, eyes parallel to the horizon, and the muscles of the back body are supporting you here. Right? Think of how difficult it is to stand in this position. Maybe slightly turn the palms to face me. That's it, Dina. Good. And then roll those shoulders slightly up, back, and down. Stacking the body, stacking the bones. Right? So we want to stack, especially the lower back and the hips, most importantly, so that they get that appropriate load. Good. Again, roll the shoulders up, back, and down. We'll go for 5. Good. I told you we're starting slow. 4. You're welcome. 3. Nice. 2. And 1. Change directions of those rolls. Again, we are doing our best to keep that posture upright. You'll feel the head of the arm bones increase that stretching in the upper back. So if you want to stretch your upper back without rounding it like a cat, something as simple as this. As long as you keep your best practices in your spine. 2 and 1. Good. Shake out those arms, shake out those legs. Here we go. Shake it out, shake it out. When in doubt, for 5, 4, 3. Arms out to the side, Deb. 2, if their overhead is available to you. And 1, shake it out. Grab that resistance band. We're moving on. So if you recall, if you're on our Facebook group, which I try to get everybody on there, we did a workout or a little exercise snack that you could add into your week. So we're going to start here with our pull aparts, just like from the video on our Facebook group. Keep a slight gentle bend in through the elbows. Focus on the posture, team. So that nice length in through your spine is part of this practice. So as you keep that nice tall spine, you're going to pull that band across your chest. Good. Try to keep your arms, elbows soft, but not like bent. Good. We'll go 1, good, and then back in front of your chest. Exhale for 2. Even slightly below your chest for those of you who tend to lift the shoulders up towards the ears. I want you to focus maybe below your chest. Good. 3, pull, 4. You want it to be challenging. 5, and we're getting into that retraction of the shoulder blades, which is going to help us stay nice and upright in our posture. Last 2. Good, and last 1. Now ask yourself, did you feel challenged in that? Okay. Hopefully you felt that it was doable, but there was maybe more opportunity for you to increase the tension. If that's the case and you're ready to do that, you're simply going to walk your hands closer to each other, perhaps by an inch or so. Working on our Tadasana posture, chin parallel with horizon. Here we go. Pull apart. Good. We're aiming for roughly 6 to 8. Good. 2 and 3. So we're doing 2 sets of 8, 3 across our chest. These are really great for traveling, everybody. 4, you can do your own counting. If you have weights, remember I'm asking you to use lighter weights for this, right? Osteoporosis Canada recommends and BoneFit that we don't hold heavy weights very far away from our body. Whoo, I lost count, but I am sweating. So I imagine we're close to 8 too. Whoo. And 1. Excellent, good. So now roll those shoulders up, back and down. Just drop that off to the side for a moment. If you need a quick sip of water, I'm gonna grab one. We're gonna do a little bit of work on that posture again, but working with that hip hinge mechanics. All right, so find that nice tall posture. If you want to reset that posture after you've had your quick sip of water, please go ahead and do so. Coming into mountain pose or Tadasana, palms face me, shoulders back, collarbones broad. Good. And again, Urdhva Hastasana. Can you keep this posture and raise your arms up overhead? If that is not available to you, arms out in front of your chest. Okay, so we're focusing here on raising the arms as high as we can without changing the posture in any way, shape, or form. So try it again. Release your arms. Think about, and if you have your wall available, you're welcome to try this with your back and your pelvis at the wall. Otherwise, the middle of the room is fine. We're going to inhale, reach up. Urdhva Hastasana. Interlace your fingers. Did your ribs lift up? Right? If they did, change the angle of your arms, okay? So that might require a little bit of tension in through your belly. Do you feel that, Sue? Deb? Yeah? Interlace your fingers. Turn your palms up towards the sky. So now your pinky finger is facing behind and your thumb is facing forward. So for those of you who are unable, you're here, okay? Yes, good. So same thing, spread the skin on your palms upwards towards the ceiling or in front of the monitor in front of you. Straighten the arms, straighten the arms. If they are not straight, lower them and straighten the arms. Good, now we're breathing into our rib cage, keeping that tall posture. Inhale here and exhale. Good, 2 more breaths, big breath in. And exhale. And 1 more breath. Working those postural muscles here. Inhale. And exhale. Release your hands to the tops of your thighs. Stay nice and tall in your posture, but unlock those knees. Good. Push your pelvis back behind you. Come into a tabletop position, otherwise known as half standing pose or Ardha Uttanasana. Good. Straighten the elbows. Inhale, head up, look up. Pull the shoulders away from your ears actively here, like you're trying to make your neck longer, yeah? Like a turtle. Bend your elbows slightly, find that fold. Remember, pelvic is not tilting, so those sit bones continue to reach behind you. And then push those feet into the ground without any reference of anything and reach those arms up or forward. Good, exhale, arms down by your side. So the reason I say without any reference is because we will be using your resistance band for this shortly. But for now, we're going to do this 1 more time. Inhale, reach your arms up. Interlace your fingers. Bend your knees, straighten your knees. Exhale, push your palms up towards the sky. 3 breaths here. Inhale, like you're trying to squeeze your head with your forearms. If that's available to you, if not, your hands are out in front. Good. Okay, big breath in. Exhale, let it go. Again, if it feels natural to breathe through your nose out, go ahead. One more breath. Inhale. Straighten those elbows. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Release the fingertips. Take your hands to your thighs. Unlock your knees and push your hips back behind you, please. Good. Now, instead of looking at me, I want you to keep your chin tucked in so that you're looking at the ground now. But you're still focusing on shoulders moving away from ears, right? So we're trying to mimic that lengthen through the spine in this half fold. Straighten the elbows, now head up, look up. Only because we're lifting our chest and that's available. Still drawing the shoulders back, collarbones broad, Candace. Good. Bend the knees a little bit. Come back into your tabletop position. Push those feet into the ground. Inhale, rise up or forward. All's good, right? We start where we are. Exhale, hands down by your side. Good. Shake out those arms. We're going to grab a resistance band. This time we're putting the resistance band underneath our feet. So be careful about it. If you need to sit down to do it, please go ahead and do that. I'm just going to place, coming into that hip hinge, place the band on the floor, step on it with one foot, step on it with the other, and hopefully you found yourself in the center of the band, and then we'll come to stand. So take a minute. Yeah, if you don't have that resistance band, just so you know, you can purchase these at most dollar stores, at HomeSense, at Winners, Canadian Tire, and any like Starkman's. If anybody knows where Starkman's is in Toronto, it's a big supplier of medicine type things for all health issues. What I'd like you to do, can you see how there's tension here, Giselle? Yeah, so we don't want it slack. We want to create tension. Right? So it's almost like the resistance band is pulling your fingertips down or your arms down. That's what we want. Good. Bend your knees slightly. Push your feet into the floor. Draw those shoulder blades back and lift through the chest. Again, bend the knees. Push your feet into the floor. Keep your body straight and tall. Good. One more time. Bend and straight. So with this band, I want you to think about at the beginning when we sat down and I said lift all 10 toes. So do that with me. Good. Now, can you find the pinky toe mound? Big toe mound. Center of heel, collarbones broad. Good. Find that posture. Release all 10 toes to the ground. So you're actively pushing your feet into the ground in this position. Right? Even distribution of the weight. Now, imagine you were able to pull your feet apart. So pulling like there's a newspaper underneath your feet and you're trying to rip the newspaper apart. Feel how the legs light up a little bit more. Good. So we're going to keep this. Your right leg is going to go first. So I want you to pick up your right leg. Oh boy. And step it back behind you. So here you find yourself unable to keep, if I straighten this leg, so try it. It's not going to, cause any fractures just by trying this. Straighten your back leg. So your right leg is behind you. All of a sudden, I feel a little bit of crunch. So I'm going to ask you, instead of coming into a high lunge with a straight back leg, bend it. And it released some pressure from the low back, so you can find that neutral spine position even in your high lunge, right? Now carefully step forward with that right leg. See if you can place it back in your band. Oh, good. So eyes on the horizon, collarbones broad. Good. Lift up nice and tall. Again, shift the weight into your left leg. Lift your right leg up. Step it behind you a few inches. Good. Bend that back knee. So you're going to shift. That's it, Karen. Shift your body weight backwards. Chest is nice and proud. There's your high lunge for here, right? Without the arms being involved. Come back. Nice and controlled and slow. Lift that leg up. Put it back in the band. Good. One more time for good measure. Here we go. My mom always said it came in threes. I don't know. Is it an Italian superstition, Dina? I don't know. Step back. Feet are hip width apart. Lean back. So again, instead of being here and all the weight loading that front knee, push yourself back. Back knee stays bent. Challenging that posture. And then come back forward. Can we do the same thing on the other side? Yeah? I'm gonna. Here we go. So shift the weight into your right leg, lift your left knee up. Again, this can all be done without the band. If you're finding it too challenged, nice, Giselle. So making sure that we're not tucking our tailbone under, yes? So step into the band and out of the band 3 times. I wanna come a little bit closer. Try to keep your feet, I know it's a little challenging, Karen, try to keep your feet maybe a couple of inches apart. Yes, good. 3 times. Maureen, you're looking great. Fantastic balance, team. Good. And come back through center. So you guys kind of made that look easy. I thought it was going to be more challenging than that. I thought for sure somebody was going to fall out of it. Not that that's bad. It's just, it says a lot about the balance challenge. So from here, you're going to get your palms. You're going to open up your fist so your thumb is on top and grab the end of the resistance band so your thumb is on top. Yeah, still have that tension, but not as much. So come to the end of your band. Hopefully again, whoop, are we in the center? Kind of, sort of. Let's find that posture again. Roll those shoulders back, collarbones broad. Back of the neck is lengthened up. I want those muscles to actually work here. Good, and here we go. We're going to lift that right leg up again. Step that right leg back. You're in your high lunge. Weight is in your front foot and your back toe mounts. Here we go. We're gonna bicep curl, keeping your armpits tight to your body for 1. Good. For 2, thumb up, pinky finger down. Hopefully your band is long enough. For 3, hence why I asked for a long resistance band this season. Shift your body weight into that foot, that left foot, and come back forward. Good, same thing on the other side. Lift your left leg up. Take your left leg back behind you. Good, bicep curl for 1. Armpits tight, nothing changes. Bicep curl for 2. Again, you can do this with weights. Squeeze those armpits together, Sandy, for 3. Good, Deb. And then shift that weight forward, adding on the tasks that are being offered to you here again. Last thing to this puzzle, we're gonna shift our weight over to that left foot rather. Pick your right knee up. I'm gonna show from this angle. Right knee is lifted. Bend your left knee. Tap that foot forward. Tap it back. Woo. Tap it forward. Tap it back. One more time, tap it forward. So it's kind of like, you remember the clock game, team? And step through center. Woo, that's hard when you're turning your head side to side. Dual task, we're not doing that right now. Here we go. Shift all the weight into your right foot, lift your left knee up. Again, if you need like a little balance here, a support, you're gonna keep your toe on the ground at all times. Tap forward, tap back. So it's 12 o'clock and then it's 6 o'clock. Your standing knee, we don't wanna lock it out, right? We're supporting our body. You can do this without the resistance band. You can also do this holding onto a chair. 3 times forward and back. Whoop. Good. And release. Good. Take that resistance band, move it off to the side, grab that quick sip of water so you can feel the muscles in your legs starting to work a little bit more, right? And oftentimes we go through these motions of yoga. We go into a yoga class, we stretch, and it feels so good. But what I want you to ideally feel is the muscles working to support you in our standing poses. So grab your resistance band again. One more thing we're going to do with the resistance band, and then we'll put it away. Step your feet apart, at least 3 feet apart. So you shouldn't be having your feet right underneath your pelvis. right? So we're gonna feel a little bit of a stretch. I got you, Nancy. There's a class coming your way. She wants to strengthen those inner thighs. I meant to ask you why, but I thought maybe it's a little too personal. I'm kidding. We all need strong thighs, yes? Especially if we're hikers or we enjoy our walking. From here, we're gonna lift the forefoot of your left foot. So just dig the heel into the ground. And as you pivot and rotate, I want your upper body to go with you. Yeah, so don't try to resist the twisting, yes, of the leg bone. And the reason I say that is if we resist, we'll be twisting in the low back. So if you try to keep your chest facing me, you'll in fact be doing a little bit of twisting in the lumbar spine. We don't want that. So from here, look down at your hips. Hips, shoulders are stacked vertically. You got it. Good. Take your weights out in front of your chest. So not towards your front leg, so you can see my chest is pointed on a diagonal. It is not pointed in the same direction as my knees. So I'm just gonna simply lift my arms. Good. In Virabhadrasana, 2 legs, use your right hand, pull back for 1. So pulling mechanics, that's it, Candace. What are we doing with the other hand? We're pushing, yes? Good. And come back through center. Good. Pull. Good. Tummy tight, posture nice and lifted. Good. 3. We're aiming for 5. So you're not taking this to your chest, that right hand. You're taking it down and towards your hip. Yeah? Good. Otherwise, you're going to end up hiking your shoulders. 4, 5. We're aiming for 6 to 8. 7. Find the tension that feels challenging. And 8. Good. From here, just grab the resistance band in one hand, straighten your left leg, pivot on your heel, torso. Now, how did that feel in your low back? I know sometimes people feel the lumbar spine gets cranky when our legs move wider apart. If that's the case, just bring them slightly closer. Yeah, we don't want cranky low backs. Here we go. Lift the forefoot of the right foot, pivot, right? Leg bone in the socket, torso is going with me, right? Torso is going with me. Take the resistance band in both hands, right underneath your hips, chest proud, eyes on the horizon. Lift the weight up. Left hand, yeah? So remember, we want to pull back and down. But what's happening with that left armpit? Right? We want to chafe our armpit. So from this angle, look at me. Yeah. So we want to hear a little sound of skin on skin. Good. Otherwise, it might feel a little painful in your joints, especially your elbow. I know that hurts my elbow when I take my elbow wide. So aiming for pulling that weight in towards your front left hip pocket, standing in our Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2 legs. So a really strong foundation. Finish up your 6 to 8 repetitions. Good. Nice, strong arms to support us in our standing poses. We will need them soon. Straighten that front leg because I want 2 sets. Step your feet together. Stand in mountain pose again. Good. Fingertips touch. Shoulders down, elbows slightly down. Either step or hop your feet apart. Yes, wasn't that fun? Good. Again, same thing. Left leg, lift the left forefoot, pivot, let the torso go, let the leg go. Good. Arms down in front of your hips, then just lift them up. Good. Pull back. Yeah, squeeze the armpits together 6 to 8 times. So whatever you did the first time, you're gonna repeat. Good, chest stays open, squeezing the muscles on the right side of your body, on your back, right? Helping those postural muscles in our rowing mechanics. Nice, Dina. Good, Sue. Push with the left hand, pull with the right. Good, and once you're done, you're 6 to 8. You don't have to wait for everybody. You can straighten your left leg, pivot, rotate, right? This is not, New York City, what are those girls, the can girls, they do the kicking call. Anyways, this is not that. So we don't have to be synchronized. Right, so up close, keep going. Chafing the armpits. Do you see my arm? Yes. Candace, watch here. Pull back like this. Look at my armpit in the back motion. Yes, do you see that? My arm's connected. Yes. Shoulder down. Very nice adjustment. Go back. Bend that right knee for me, Giselle. Remember, it's warrior 2 legs. Back leg is straight. Front leg is bent. Good. Sue's given us a wiggle. She's all done. Good. Now take your resistance band, move it off to the side, grab a sip of water. My goodness gracious, it's getting dark here in Toronto. All right. So, our muscles are primed. Our arms are primed. We need to have muscle engagement. We challenged ourselves with the resistance band to kind of wake things up, right? Now that they're awake, let's put them to work. Find your mountain pose. Good. Turn your palms to face me. Find your posture check. If you need that hand, go ahead and do that. Ready? Yes, nice. I like when you do that, right? Because oftentimes we forget our chin just wants to reach forward. These muscles, they went to sleep, right? So now these muscles, they are working to hold my neck up, my head up. Here we go. Inhale. And exhale. Yep, out in front of you is great. Inhale. Or for this variation, how about you take your arms just to shoulder height. Inhale. And exhale, that's it. Now we're gonna go overhead. So for those of you who are unable, right in front of your chest, inhale, reach up, interlace your fingers wherever your arms are. Bend the knees, straighten the knees, turn the palms upwards. Good, so we're stretching the arms up. Good, get really tall in through the spine. Slow and mindful. Feel the engagement. So can you try to feel the arm bones hugging the muscles of the arm hugging the bone, right? And that can't be done if the elbows are bent. Good. So again, out in front is fine. One more breath. Good. As you exhale, release those arms down by your side, unlocking those knees, push your hips back. Soft bend in elbows, soft bend in knees. We're looking where? At the ground. Push your hands into your thighs, lock out those elbows as those shoulders draw away from the ears. Feel your chest lift and broaden. Feel those back muscles really engaged, hugging through the spine. Softly bend the knees, softly bend the elbows, back to facing the floor. Now, imagine there's a resistance band and you're pushing yourself to standing. Remember at the beginning, push those feet down, come on up, reach those arms up or in front of chest. Good. Exhale, arms down by your side. Good. We're going to add on to that. Here we go. Inhale, reach up or in front of your chest. Interlace your fingers, bend your knees, bend your elbows, then straighten everything out. Nice. Good. So try to really be compact here. What would it be like? Squeezing the muscles of the glutes in towards the bone, squeezing the muscles of the hips in towards the pelvis. Right? So we're going to be really strong in this posture. Yep, you're in it. Good. Now unlock those joints and come into our forward fold. Do you notice when your joints are unlocked, the muscles are harder to engage here, right? It's not a coincidence. Now straighten the legs, straighten the elbows, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Good. Now we can look forward. Exhale, soften the joints, look down towards the earth. Press your feet away, reach those arms up or in front of your chest. Exhale, arms down by your side. Step your right leg back behind you. Find your high lunge position here. We've done this already. Good. So from your high lunge, what happens to the joints of the knees? I want you to unlock them to find your neutral spine and make sure the body is vertical here. Good. If you're able, float those arms in front of chest. If you're able, you're reaching them up overhead, high lunge position. Good, eyes on the horizon for 3 full breaths. Again, if you're unable to get your arms overhead, in front of chest is fine. But either way, those elbows are straight. Reaching up through the fingertips. Try to really catch. There's an apple pie on the ceiling here. Good. Haven't had a pie in a long time in actuality. For 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. Step your right leg out to the side. So your right leg is going to step to the side. If you have to readjust yourself here, lift your right foot up, pivot, find your warrior 2 stance, fingertips touch, bend the front knee, straighten the arms. Again, elbows locked at shoulder height. Look left and right. Are your fingertips at the same height as your shoulders? Oftentimes we kind of do this little whoop, whoop. So try to reach out through the fingers, spread the fingers out. Try to engage the muscles of the fingers, the arms, the legs pushing into the ground. And breathe here. Good. For 3, 2, 1. Straighten the front leg, lower the arms, and step your feet together. Good. Nice job. We're going to do the same thing on the other side now. Again, find your posture. So this could be a posture check right here. You've done your posture check for the day. No, not really. You want to do it several times a day. Here we go. Inhale, reach those arms wide. You may stop here or place them in front of your chest, or continue on. Interlace those fingers, bend the knees, bend the elbows, straighten the arms. Yes, get tall. 3 breaths here. Good. And then when you're ready, release those fingertips, arms to the sides of the body. Come into your forward fold, unlocking those knees. Flat back position. Let's see this, Sue. Good. Good. Straighten those elbows. Inhale, head up, look up. Bend the elbows, exhale, and fold. Good. Push your feet into the ground. Reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, arms come down by your side. Nice job, everybody. Pick your left leg up now. So come up onto your left tippy toes for me. And balancing on that right leg, you're going to step back into your high lunge here. Good. Again, back knee is soft. Onto the mounds of your toes. Good. Float those arms wide and up if that's available to you. Or you can hold them right here. Good. Get tall, reach for the sky. I want you to imagine I've got your middle finger and I'm pulling it up, up, up. Oh, it's so different than when you're just kind of hanging out here, huh? Yeah, reach up. You can bring your palms down in front of your heart. Keep those collarbones wide. Step forward. Good. Now take that left leg. Pick it up. Step over to the side. Find your warrior 2 here stance. So pivot on the left leg. Fingertips touch. Good. Bend the left knee. Good. Stretch those arms out. Good. So look over your left fingertips. 3 full breaths for me, team. Good. Straighten your front knee, lower your arms, push yourself back to center and step your feet hip width apart. Sandy, I saw your question. Your hand is up. I'll have to answer it at the end of class, okay? Feet are hip width apart. Roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Remember, if you have any shoulder injuries, the arms are staying at shoulder height. They're not going overhead. I don't want you to force yourself. From here, we're going to shift all our weight into our left hip. Come up onto our right tippy toes. Remember your posture first and foremost. Take your hands to your heart. Armpits down, chest up. Good. From here, can you lift the knee up? So you're flexing your hip, you're flexing your knee. Good. Tap it back down. Try it again. Come back up. Good. Keep that posture. Extend your leg, extend your knee. So it looks something like that. Good. Lower your toes to the ground. Repeat on the other side. So release the elbows, release the arms. My goodness, it's getting dark. If it's possible, it's getting darker here in Toronto. Again, come up onto your left tippy toes. Bring your hands to heart center. Don't change your posture. If you can help it, lift that left knee up. So again, we're stacking our body. Now think of the load that's going on in this hip, right? It's very different than when both feet are on the ground, right? Can you extend your leg out? Can you bend your knee again? It's a question. It's not a necessity. We're just trying. Good, shake it out. So the act of being on one leg for a longer period of time than it takes for you to take a step forward is gonna load that hip differently, yes? Go back to side one again, hands to heart, collarbones broad, all the things we've been working on here so far. Left toes come up, left toes come to either the inside of the standing foot heel, or if you're able to, you can lift it up. Remember, hips stay forward, so don't force that knee back behind you at the expense of your body and your knee twisting. Good. Be proud. Press your palms in towards each other like they have a purpose. Yes. Squeeze those armpits tight. Good. For those of you who want to increase the challenge, it's not a challenge to you, but if you want to try and increase the challenge, you're welcome to try reaching those arms up. Good. Straightening those elbows. Oh, that actually helps. 3, 2, 1. How many of you lost your footing, right? The foot starts to do a little bit of yeah? That's okay. Your body is working, and this is why I love practicing exercise bare feet, right? Because we have this proprioception, we have 100,000 nerve endings in each foot, and those feet are just fighting to find that connection to the earth. And you cannot do that as easily if you're wearing shoes in yoga, okay? Let's go to the other side. Here we go. Feet hip width apart, eyes on the horizon, bring your palms together. Squeeze your palms, squeeze your fingertips in towards each other and feel how that lights up the muscles of your body here, your upper body especially. Now shift the weight into your left foot, come up onto your right tippy toes. Find your variation of Vrikshasana, otherwise known as tree pose. And much like your palms are pressing into each other, what if you pressed your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot? And what if you squeezed your standing glute? Could you get a little taller? Maybe. Feel a little bit more connected. As you challenge yourself, perhaps it's an option to raise those arms up overhead. If not, you're still here. And we kind of lost the palm connection, so how can we regain it? Squeeze your glute, reach up even taller, Dina, even taller, Deb, for 3, nice Nancy, 2, nice Giselle, and 1, everything comes down to center. Oh my goshness. Shake out those legs, grab a quick sip of water. We're gonna make our way down to the floor. Woo, take a quick sip here, team. We're gonna flow down to the ground. So whatever it is that you need to make your way down to the ground, we're gonna stretch things out. And if that means you need a blanket for support, please go ahead and get a blanket. Good. So don't go down there yet. Oh, not yet, not yet. We're gonna flow our way down. And like, damn it. We're gonna make our way there, but we're gonna do it gracefully. So you can even face your blanket where your head is going to be resting in a few moments. And if you got down there and you're like, forget it, I'm not getting up, that's okay too. Here we go. If you're standing, facing where your head will be lying on a blanket, inhale, raise those arms up or forward. As you exhale, push your hips back, flat back position. Straighten the elbows. Now we can look forward, drop the shoulders away from your ears, but really keep connected in through your feet, team. Bend the elbows, gaze down to the floor. You can take one hand to the top of one thigh, step one leg back behind you, the other leg, right? So this is a nice way to transition. So both hands are either on a chair or they're on the top of your thigh, and then lower one knee, lower the other knee, and now you may transition. Best practices, sideline. Oh, sideline, we love you. and then transition onto your back. For those of you who are there, you're gonna pull your right knee in towards your chest when you're lying on your back. Good. And for those of you who are always feeling like your hip flexors are crazy tight, yeah, Nancy's already there. Slide your left heel away from you. So drag your heel into the floor. Feel that connection. So oftentimes we just let that left leg just go, right? So instead, bend the left knee again. Yeah, put your left foot on the ground. Lift your toes up. Lift your forefoot up on the left foot. And give yourself a little bit of pedicure here. You're gonna push the left heel away, digging it into the ground. Keep that connection. Straighten the leg. Pin straight. Now, this is the way that you're gonna feel the muscles engage in that left leg, right? If we let it go, muscles are not hugging the bone. So we wanna engage those muscles. So we're gonna drag that heel away from us. And keep the inner thigh on that grounded leg rooting down to the ground. Chest stays open. Collarbones stay broad. We're just getting a nice little bit of a stretch in the hamstring, the upper part of the hamstring and glute on that one side. I think I have everybody with their right knee in. Couple of breaths here. And then slowly bring your left foot back onto the ground. Interlace your fingers way down your thigh. So bring your fingers all the way to where your thigh and your pelvis connect. And hopefully you'll be able to interlace the fingers there. If not, grab that resistance band or a towel and you can use that for some help. And then bend and straighten that right knee. Foot to the ceiling, Karen. Yeah, it's like you're bending and straightening. We'll go 3, 2. Keep those shoulders back. 1, if you need more support underneath your head, go ahead and take it. And then from here, some nice little ankle circles. So we did mostly standing work today. So let's just give those joints a little bit of love, if you will. Change directions. All this movement, right? Oxygenating the blood. Helping to get our joints more mobile, especially when they're really stiff. And then release your right leg to the ground. Let's give it a little bit of a shake. We're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side, please. Please and thank you. So now, left knee into chest. Right heel on the ground. Good. Collarbones broad. So pull the chest, or rather the shoulder blades down and dig your right heel away from you. If you need to do it a couple of times, this is my tight leg. So I feel like I can't get my inner right thigh as connected to the ground as I could my other leg, but that's okay. We're still working on ankle flexed, toes spread, heel anchored. Couple of breaths here. So it may seem passive, it may seem like a nice relaxing stretch, but because we're working those muscles on the limb that's lowered to the ground, not so much. Good, for 3, 2, and 1. Bring your right foot back onto the mat. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh, way down at the junction where it meets your pelvis. And bend and straighten a few times. Bend and straighten. Good. Keep your toes drawing down. And the last time, straighten it for a second. Keep it straight. Draw the toes down. Spread the toes. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower that left leg to the ground. Lower the left leg down. Straighten the left leg onto the mat and give that a shake. Perfect. So just for the sake of trying how it feels, I want everybody to straighten their legs on the floor. Even my low back people who have low back sensitivities, just try it for a second. And notice what happens to the ribs Notice what happens to your pelvis, right? Feel how maybe your bottom back rib is kind of slightly elevated in some of us, depending on the curvature of your spine, some more than others. And now bend both knees and place the soles of the feet on the mat. Pay attention particularly to what happens to your ribs, the pelvis. So you can see maybe if I can give you a little bit of guidance here, we're easier finding our neutral spine position with our knees bent. So thinking about those of you who have any low back pulling, QL pulling at night, placing a little bit of support behind the knees. Hug both knees in towards your chest, please. Good, and I'm gonna give you a minute or two if there's anything that your body is craving right now at the end of your practice, and this is very individual. So please take a moment to whatever it is that your body wants to do. So no judgment, I'm not here to guide you through that part. This is intuitive movement. So please feel free to take that time. And maybe that time is doing nothing. Maybe it's setting up for your resting pose. Maybe you just want to sit up or you want to just lie down and rest. All of which is good. And once you've done what you want to do, because you're listening to your body, then find a comfortable seated position or a comfortable lying down position. So it's yours, this resting. Some people refer to it as Shavasana. I just call it our mindful moment. And I don't know what your body is craving right now because I don't live there. Is it already time for sweaters? Oh, that makes me so sad. Now remember, if we're sitting, we're focusing on that posture always. That never changes. So make yourself as tall, even if you want to lean against something. It's always nice to support yourself. And wherever you are, if you're lying on your back, feel free to close your eyes or just gaze towards the bridge of your nose with your eyes very soft. And I heard one of you, I won't call you out, it's all good, because you are everybody. Somebody said at the beginning of class that their mind is like their biggest enemy, right? Always pulling them and talking to them and telling them this or that. And so this is really difficult to find this opportunity to be still when that thought process, when our mind keeps chatting, chatter, chatter, chatter. And if there's one thing I've learned over the years, not that it's easy, but that I still practice, is in yoga they refer chitta, vritta, narodam, slowing the busyness of the mind, essentially, is the hardest thing we'll ever do in a yoga class. So I invite you here an opportunity to pay attention with your breath, with your body resting, to those thoughts. You know they're going to come. They're like a very big puffy cloud in a sky of 1,000,000 clouds moving through your consciousness. So when your mind says, oh, I wish she'd finish and hurry up, I got to go to the grocery store, just go, okay, I got you, I see you. Carry on. Keep floating by. And the next cloud has another thought. And another. And there's millions and trillions of them. Some of them are truths. Some of them are your past. Some of them are your future that has not even occurred. So it is a story. Acknowledge them. Give yourself the grace to understand it is part of being human. And then just watch that cloud float away. So I'll give you a couple of minutes here to just be with that. When you feel ready, keeping your eyes softly closed or gaze downcast, just start to bring some gentle movements into your body. Again, this is intuitive movement at this point. I'm not going to guide you through what your body needs to come out of your resting pose, of your mindful moment. And if you feel up to sitting up, go ahead and do so. Taking your time to open your eyes and welcome yourself to the rest of your day. But I do want to say I've gotten a lot of emails from people, team, about falling off the wagon or not doing what they were supposed to do, or there is no supposed to, team. Maybe I don't understand the idea of not wanting to move, but I have great compassion for people who are in that position. I just happen to be a natural born mover from day one, so it's not something I have to plan for. So I do encourage you to prioritize your movement practice for your own well-being in all the ways. Place it in your calendar. Be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, and thank yourself for the grace and the beauty of your own personal practice. Thank you so much, team. I'm here for a minute or two. Your prescription is coming up. Are you ready for it? Movement prescription. I'm going to unmute y'all. Or you're welcome to unmute yourself. Today's movement prescription, which will be on your replay, is as following. Banded bicep curls, 3 days this week. How? Stand on the band with your feet shoulder width apart. Hold the band handles with your palms facing up or your thumbs facing up. Curl your hands up towards your shoulders by bending your elbows and slowly lowering it. You're going to repeat that 10 to 12 times. Pause for a minute. Do it again. I will write this movement prescription down on your recording. Remember, 3 times for this, and for my live participants, you're going to do this class 1 more time. You can maybe hyperspeed me, do me at 1.5 times speed, who knows? And for my students who are on replay, you're going to still do this class 2 times on your own. Reach out if you have any questions, teams. Thank you so much. I have a quick minute. If anyone had a question, you can unmute yourself, but I do have to shoop. You're welcome, team.